Average Dude has something to say about...
Oh, I've been looking so forward to do this episode for so long, you'll have no idea. Told you I was going to go over Mitt Romney, episode 34 here. Why voting for Mitt Romney is a very bad idea. Okay, I want to remind you not that long ago that billionaire CEO David Siegel, asshole piece of crap that he is, used a form letter. He didn't even come up with this letter. Someone else created it. I'm sure it was propaganda for the Republican Party, and he filled it out and sent it to all of his employees via email, threatening their jobs if Obama wins. Nothing illegal about that. Nothing at all, son of a bitch. And because it was a form letter, others were going to use it. It got sent around. I mean, there were plenty of imitators. Nobody, Barack or Mitt did not. Republican Party conservatives, I want you to know, remember this. Mitt did not stand by you when it came to you being threatened over your job. Now, if he had any credibility, he should have been protecting your right, your American hard-earned right, through the blood and the deaths of everyone who fought to give us these rights. He should have been telling everyone, you have the right to choose who you want to choose. He didn't do that, did he? Because he's out for number one, that son of a bitch. Ooh, Mitt, I'm going to rip you a new one, you mother. Wow. He didn't say anything at all about that. I've said this before. There are so many people out there that are being harassed at work, constantly having their jobs threatened. And he's not going to be on your side at all. Mitt is not going to support you. Hey, oh God, let's move on. Next, the Republican Party, the GOP, never intended to win from the beginning. You cannot possibly expect me to believe that they even had come on, Mitt Romney was your choice? Mitt? He is the 1%. You couldn't have possibly created a more appropriate poster child for everything that started the Occupy movement. I mean, good God. All that for the last 2 years, the Republican Party has been grandstanding, going out of their way to make you think that they really were trying to win and that there was choice. I mean, come on, Herman Cain, token black guy, the Republican Party had no intention of having a black candidate for the Republican Party. They certainly weren't going to have a black Republican in office. And boy, did that show. Michelle Bachmann? She's absolutely insane. Miss Crazy Lady, she's nuts. She's psycho. And they absolutely the Republican Party had no intention of having a woman ever be president. I mean, all that whole lineup, Newt Gingrich? Are you kidding me? All so that they could make Mitt Romney look that much better in comparison. And I knew from the day one, I was saying, it's going to be Mitt. It's going to be Mitt Romney. God damn it, it's going to be Mitt. And it was. Oh, sure as shit is smelly, it was Mitt. What a surprise there. The very epitome of what Occupy is against. And everything that is wrong with our bad, unethical business practices here in the United States. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, and Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan... I mean, Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan are to the Republican Party's chances of winning the presidency as back when it was Bush's second time around, and the Democrats picked John Kerry and John Edwards. You have that. John Kerry is the Democratic version of Mitt Romney. Both smug, condescending pieces of crap that don't have any connection whatsoever with the people, and they have to have these younger white boy vice presidential candidates, and it blows me away. Really, Paul Ryan? I'm absolutely shocked that the Republican Party didn't pick Marco Rubio, you know, the Latino, the Hispanic dude who spouts the Republican Party line. I mean, at least then you would have had a... Oh, no. They couldn't have possibly considered having a minority. No. They had to have filthy, rich, smug, white man. Unfrickin' believable. Republican Party, that was your choice. What the hell were you thinking? You picked Mitt to go against... To find anybody that's worse than Barack Obama? Wow! Hey, 2. Let's move on. Flip-flopping. Oh, wow! Hey, Mitt Romney brings new meaning to the concept of flip-flopping. He raises the bar. I mean, politicians wrote the book on flip-flopping, and Mitt Romney buries them all. Oh, wow! He raised that bar so high, I don't think anybody is ever going to top it, ever. Nobody does it better than Mitt. Where does Mitt stand? It's impossible to tell where he stands. He changes every hour. And I think that I think that the only thing that Mitt truly stands for is himself and his own best interest. And I think that's the only thing that I conclude looking at all the flip-flopping that has gone on throughout his entire political career. He does whatever best benefits him at any given point in time. Mitt's a piece of crap. He's not for you. He is for himself. He is out for number 1. That must be the Republican way. Do what's best for you. That's great. That's wonderful for a president to do what's best for him and screw the people. Flip-flopping 101. Obamacare is Romenycare. It came from Mitt. If you don't like that health care bill, it came from Mitt and his people that created it when he was in Massachusetts. Oh, that's such a stupid argument for the Republicans to be blaming Obama for. Where do you think it came from? Oh. 3. Mitt is completely and totally lacking in character. Ooh, I said this about Billy Graham. What he says about you behind closed doors when he thinks that nobody is listening. And we've heard this, we've heard Mitt slip so many times when he's on camera, but when he doesn't think anyone's listening, those horrible, ugly, horrendous things that he says, that's the real person, people. That's when you get to see what the person is really all about. And he wasn't making a comment on poor people. He was making the 47%. That's the liberals. That's the Democrats. That's the non-Republicans. He doesn't care. He's not even going to try. The president has to try, or the president will get nowhere with Congress or anyone else for that matter, or let alone world leaders. Mitt is not qualified. He won't even bother to try. And you know what? The Republican Party would be gone if it wasn't for churches, Protestant Christian churches. And you know what? They've been bought and sold. Like Billy Graham, lock, stock, and smoking barrel with the Republican Party. Mitt's horrible. Hey, I am not following the word of man. Priest, reverend, pastor, whoever. I don't care. If I'm going to follow God, it's going to be God and not something that some man said in the name of God, because that is violating that commandment. Don't say that something is according to God that isn't truly according to God. Republican Party doesn't mean God. Does not mean Christianity. Bethke, in his video, when I went over that response video, that's what he meant. He was absolutely right. Oh, God, yeah, Mitt is totally lacking in behavior. He's the typical CEO behavior. He talks and he never thinks, and he's going to fire whoever that rubs him the wrong way. I have met people like Mitt before. I've met CEOs. I've met the filthy frickin' rich morons, the job creators, and I have not been impressed. I've been one of the many. There are so many people out there like me, it's not even funny. People that actually have a brain, people that actually are competent, people that make them more money than they even thought possible with good business ideas, and yet they don't care. They're idiots. They're stupid, and they're running the show. And Mitt is exactly that way. He won't work with Congress. That's actually necessary for the president. Okay? Mitt can't just walk in like a typical CEO, Donald Trump style. You're fired. You're fired. You can't do that. Congress isn't going to care. He has no authority there. Congress doesn't answer to the president. And foreign leaders certainly don't. He's going to burn bridges. Our allies are going to turn into our enemies, the way that Mitt runs his mouth. And let's end this on this note. Mitt Romney is so bad for our military and our veterans and our troops. He has no clue. I'm a firm believer that if you're going to be commander-in-chief, you really should have some service in the military, had your life actually threatened in the line of duty. Hey, come on, Mitt. No. And he's going to increase military spending, troops, deaths galore. He didn't mention anything about securing the border either when it came to Mexico and all those beheadings. But the private sector? Hey, everybody, come serve our military, die for your country, but your country? Nah. If you need hospital care from the VA, forget that. He wants to voucher the whole thing, the private sector, because the private sector does such a bang-up job, right? The private sector has the same problem as the government. He wants to gut the government and fling it into the private, except for the military spending, and throw it on the private sector. And yet this is the same jackass that bragged about, hey, there's money to be had up in Washington. And he bragged about using that money for the Olympics. That is Mitt. That is your typical CEO, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to take the money somewhere else. He's going to spend someone else's money. He's going to spend your money, not his. The private sector is going to want to make money. He's going to do it, and the private sector makes money from you, the American people. Don't you feel like you're rooked enough? Mitt Romney is awful!